Joanne, I'm going to say afternoon. Is it afternoon by you or is it
Yeah,
evening?
evening already, 7 p.m.
Well, good evening. Thank you for taking the time. And in looking through some old articles, it looks like the last time I interviewed you was a year ago. And I
Yeah,
believe Sounds of the City was 2023, and Railroad, that was about a year ago. Do I have
yeah,
that
March
correct?
24. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people are kind of on that every 2 years an album kind of thing, whereas you're steadily putting out stuff, steadily touring, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the time. I don't put out full albums. It's just EPs. So I just want to keep moving. I'm writing a lot and I feel like, okay, a song is done. I love to make a recording of it. So just keep showing people my musical process and where I'm at.
Sure. So recent recording sessions for you?
Yeah, so I'm now finishing my new EP, which will come out in April,
Hmm.
April 18. It's called Unusual Fairy Tales, and I recorded that last summer in Asbury Park, New Jersey,
Oh,
with with my US band that I all met during that travel we talked about last time. And yeah, that's mostly the focus now in terms of recording.
so I know that Francis Valentino is in the band. Is Mark Maysfield in the band? Do I have that
Yeah,
correct?
Mark Mayfield played organ on that record, so
And Grace, is she in the
yeah,
band?
yeah. Grace Quackenbos played keys, and then we have Riley Owens on bass guitar and Anthony Sherry on guitar. And I also had Josie James for this one song with her violin, so or a fiddle, was it? Yeah.
It's kind of rare in a way to not only use the same band more than one release in a row, but use the same band in the studio as touring. In other words, I thought that the old deal was this band is good for the studio, but you can't travel with them. Instead, it
Right.
sounds like you found a bunch of people who are musically competent and a good hang.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I think you put it right that way. We had an amazing time. It was March last year that I brought them to the Netherlands, and we kind of created those songs that we just recorded during that tour. So I had an idea. We just performed it for the first time live those weeks here, and I feel like those songs got to life because of them and because of their input, and they changed along the way, and they formed in its own artistic shape. And I just wanted to record it with the people that had such a big artistic influence on the song. So I feel both worlds are working perfectly with these people. So yeah, I might as well do that.
And the US band, are you going to get to tour the US with them in the near future?
I hope so. We're working on it. So who knows? It's yeah, that would be great. They're coming to the Netherlands again in October 25. So yeah, I'm working on scheduling the tour now, and that's going to be a fun hang as well.
Sure. And in the year or so since we've chatted, it sounds like you landed a booking agency as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm working with a booking agency called Monkey Man,
Hmm.
and they mostly book like roots, Americana, blues bands in the Benelux, so Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. So yeah, I've been working with them, and we're also booking that tour together right now.
Wow. Okay. Roots and all that. Because interestingly, you are hard to classify in terms of genre where
I
you go,
know.
there's jazz influence, but there's roots, but there's singer-songwriter. Do you have a better example or answer these days when I say, what are you? What do you sound like? Or is that still in
Yeah.
progress?
Well, I think in a way that will always be a progress because it's gonna change what I create and
Hmm.
yeah, and what label I can put on it. But if I promote it, I call it indie and Americana folk with a touch of jazz. I think that kind of, and not every song is that, but
Hmm.
in general, I think that sentence fits most of the songs.
Got it. And then I think I read somewhere also, somehow you're partnering with Martin Guitars. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah.
How
That's
did
crazy.
how did that happen? The reason I asked that is when I was a kid back in the Stone Age, I think I was like 13 or 14. This is the mid 90s, and we
Mhm.
were in rural Pennsylvania, and the camp group, the camp trip thing I was on said, and now we're going to tour the Martin Guitar Factory. And when they were
Right.
giving us the tour, they're saying nobody gets Martin guitars for free. Even Eric Clapton had to pay for it for MTV Unplugged. So unless things
Okay.
changed, I don't know. But sounds
I
like
think
it's a
so.
special deal.
I think so. I think things changed in the meantime. Well, I'm very lucky for sure. But yeah, so it kind of got connected through Francis as well, the drummer of the EP. And It's I needed a guitar last summer when I came to the US. We had the recordings, we did a
Mhm.
couple of stuff, and I was like, I might not bring my guitar because, well, flying with a guitar is just, yeah,
Right.
sometimes not that good. So I was like, okay, maybe we can, yeah, maybe I can rent some guitar somewhere. And then the Clinch Gallery, the gallery in Asbury Park,
Hmm.
they kind of have some connection with Martin, so they reached out. But the first question was, can I maybe get one for like the 3 weeks I was there to lend one? But they saw my video. The president of Martin ended up seeing a new release of mine. It's called Angel, and it has a music video, and it's a song about my grandmother. And I recorded that music video in her house, and turned out beautifully. I'm so happy with that video. And they saw it and they said like, well, she's getting a guitar. So they sent me a little Martin, the same I have here in the Netherlands. And I have that one now ready for me whenever I'm in the US. And I got to tour the factory when I was there in Pennsylvania, which was awesome. That was so cool.
So to kind of repeat myself in a way, a year passes and the average artist just goes, yeah, we're writing some new material. In your case, actually writing, actually recording, a guitar endorsement, a booking agent comes on board, opening up for Steph Strings in a gig in Belgium, if I read correctly,
Yeah.
knowing that you have upcoming US dates and European dates. I mean, how much of this was planned like you had a vision board? And then how much of this is just you do a gig and then you meet somebody after the gig and they go, by the way, here's my card.
Yeah, I think it all has to do with focus and like passion for what I'm doing. I feel so much energy towards creating this music, putting it out there, working with people I find inspiring. So I think yeah, lots of my energy goes towards that. So I get it back in that way, you know. The universe, I think, feels that energy and grants me stuff like this. And I'm so grateful to get to do all of this. Lots of energy, lots of focus, lots of time, lots of money goes into it. But
Hmm.
if you mention it like that, that row of things I got to do this one year, and then yeah, it's indeed kind of
And
crazy.
if I'm correct, you're doing it self-managed, correct?
Yeah, yeah,
So that's ultra impressive because the average artist can only focus on the art. They
yeah.
can only focus on the performing. They can't then handle the full inbox and all that. Was it the goal to be self-managed, like you want to be your own industry, or that's just what happened and you had to do it that way?
Yeah, I think mostly the second thing. I'm also getting to know the industry like along the way. So
Hmm.
I'm kind of seeing, okay, what companies or what like outlets do I want to partner up with or not?
Hmm.
For now, I do like the entrepreneurship side of creating and of the artistry. So I don't know, I love to connect with people. I love to do some business sides. I also teach entrepreneurship at the conservatory here in the
Oh,
Netherlands. So I kind of I kind of like that thing. So as long as I can do it all, I sometimes feel I would love to have more time to write and to just collaborate, do writing sessions, stuff like that. So who knows, one day I can give some stuff to other people.
is that the same conservatory where you studied?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I'm
So,
very honored to, like, when I graduated my bachelor's there, they asked me to come back as a teacher, and now I'm doing like entrepreneurship and songwriting lessons, artist development lessons,
mhm.
music and societal aspects. So that's a great job to have.
I can imagine it's very complicated to be based in Europe, but have the musicians in the States, some of the recording in the States, etc. Because a lot of times, like an American band can only focus on the American territory, and then
Mm,
they go, every 2, 3 years, we'll go to Europe, we'll lose money on tour, but
right.
it's to eventually build something. But in your
Yeah.
case, you're managing yourself in Europe, then you got to come to the States too. Did you know
Yeah.
all along that that was going to be a multinational, multi-continental career for you?
I don't think so. I did always find and felt lots of inspiration in the US. So because I studied there in New York, like when I was 19 for the first time, and then I got back when I was 21, 22.
Hmm.
So I felt that, I don't know, the energy of there kind of just influences my work so much. But I didn't expect it to be such a big connection already, like having musicians over there, having possibilities, recording possibilities, and collaborations. I could never dream that, but like that America, like the USA's music scene has influence on me, that was clear, like for some time already.
Was studying in New York the first time that you came to the US?
Yeah, yeah.
When you first came to the US, what sort of impression did you have versus the reality of what happened? In other words, did it crush your dreams and then you had to learn to love it?
Right. Um, so I was 19. I don't know. I think New York City itself is like a country on itself, or like a culture on itself. So
Sure.
I couldn't really compare it to other states or other big cities, but it's just, I don't know, it inspired me so much that the compared to the Netherlands, I think there's just so much positivity in general, so much feeling of community. Very People are very passionate, people are very open to helping each other, to working with each other. And but that's just, yeah, that's my experience, and it has been my experience also in the other 22 states I by now visited.
Hmm.
um so I don't know, it didn't really crush my dreams or crush my images of what I had. I think it only made it stronger.
I am going to say, being to 22 states, I think you've been to more states than the average American.
I
I don't know if
know.
you realize that.
You know, yeah, so many people told me that, well, because I did everything by train, most of it by train. So I
Mhm.
got to talk to lots of people that were traveling from city to city or from state to state. And I I was talking to them about my journey, and they all said the same, like, oh, you did more than me. So yeah, that's pretty funny.
And I understand that people in your US based band are from or live around Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Yeah,
And I don't think the average person knows much about Asbury besides Bruce Springsteen,
yeah,
started around there, and there's the boardwalk, and that's kind of it.
yeah.
Now, in your case, now that you've recorded there a few times, you've been around there, been shown around by locals, do you now think of it as like a third home, and this is my coffee spot and this is my spot to go to the doctor if I need to? Do you have that
Right.
relationship with Asbury?
Well, I think I do feel connected to it. Like I was there in December, like a month and a half ago. Was spending some time in New York, and I of course had to go to Asbury Park as well. So I
Mhm.
get to know the place much more, and I love the people. I love the music community is amazing. Like
Mhm.
everything that's happening over there, all the venues, all the gigs, all the possibilities. So yeah, I think I feel way more connected to it than before, of course, and I feel like I'll be coming back many more times. So
Early,
that's a good thing.
Earlier, you mentioned the Danny Clinch Gallery, which is there in Asbury, which
Yeah,
led to the Martin thing. Your band
exactly.
is largely around there. Was there almost a different band in almost a different city that almost had Joanne Bird in the States?
Ooh, good question. I don't think so, because I got connected for the first time to Asbury Park while I was just exploring literally almost everything music wise. So I didn't feel so Asbury Park was kind of at the end of my trip. I think I was 4 months in, or 4.5 months in. Um, I had lots of connections. I felt like, for instance, San Diego felt really cool. Nashville, of
Hmm.
course. Austin, Texas, I had a good connection with. Um, so it kind of just happened, and somehow I think I created the most yeah, I've grounded the most in Asbury Park because of all those connections, and recording there and bringing the people from there to the Netherlands, that just formed my whole career path since then. So I'm now like what is it called? I'm forced to go back every time. I don't have a choice.
So the follow-up question to that before I ask my last question, do you have a favorite restaurant now in Asbury Park?
Ooh. Uh, so our bar is really cool. It's like there's so much live music. I went there last time to see this singer-songwriter brother Andrew. He just released his new album, which was great. And there's like it's like a diner kind of style with live music.
Hmm.
So it's great. Yeah.
Last question before I let you go has nothing to do with your new music, your
Mhm.
touring, Martin, the booking agency, the video, etc. Nothing to do with that. It's you as a music fan. What's the last concert that you went to for fun?
For fun. Um, I think that was the Brother Andrew in Asbury Park, our bar. Yeah, that was
I
cool.
find it goes two ways with musicians. They go, I never go to concerts, or now that I can get on the guest list everywhere because of my career, I go to shows 5 days a week. So it sounds like you're a once in every 2 months kind of person.
Yeah, something like that. I like the bigger one here in the Netherlands was Lizzie McAlpine. I saw her here, and she's a great influence on my music as well. So that was very cool to see. But I think once in 2 months is a good way to describe it. But when I'm like with friends, seeing friends play, that's more often than that. But if they're like releasing stuff or putting out music or playing in a band, then live music is a big influence, but like
Sure.
bigger concerts, yeah.
Well, thank you for doing this and looking forward to that new music and touring when it's time.
Thank you so much, Darren.
Paltrocast.